UConn and Buffalo. UConn 7-4, 3-5 in the Big East. They didn't have a single win over a top 25 team, and in fact lost their last 2 games of the season. Running backs were averaging under 5 yards a carry, and their passing game has absolutely struggled. It's been anemic. Buffalo, on the other hand, they're 8-5 and coming off a huge win against previously undefeated Ball State, 42-24 in the MAC title game, earning the program their first ever bowl bid. Look for them to take that momentum into victory. I picked Buffalo in the International Bowl. And finally, wrapping it up with, and you talked about it, Alex, the GMAC Bowl. Hopefully people will not be focusing on the auto industry and instead on Tulsa and Ball State. Ball State, again, having turned down other bowl opportunities and wound up in the GMAC Bowl. Tulsa is a Conference USA runner-up. They're 10-3, and quarterback David Johnson has thrown for 43 touchdowns. Those are Graham Harrell type numbers right there. 43 touchdowns, has just shy of 4,000 yards in the season. He's definitely the leader of this team. Both the running backs are averaging over 5 yards per carry, but I'm going to have to give the nod to Ball State. They are more than a little perturbed after losing in the MAC championship game to Buffalo, costing them the perfect season. They're 11-1 on the year, and tight end Darius Hill is their man. He's had a huge season. He's grabbed 7 touchdowns on 38 receptions. He averages more than 17 yards every time he touches the ball. And McQuail Lewis has over 1,700. Yeah, McQuail Lewis has over 1,700 yards rushing this season. Averages over 5 yards a carry. He also has 22 touchdowns. Ball State's team is going to get things in gear, turn it around, and go into the GMAC Bowl, rolling over Tulsa.
Well, thanks for the insight, Caitlin. That was great. And McQuail, a combination of a hamburger joint and a bird. That's quite a name, and there's birds in the studio now, too. Especially good insight on that Liberty Bowl. One of those matchups with an East Carolina team, a good team from a non-major conference, then, an team or a meh team from a major conference. No quality wins for Kentucky.
How is Kentucky playing a bowl game on January 2nd? Kentucky.
You know what? That's a big issue.
Wrong.
We can spend the rest of the show talking
what
about...
What happens after January 1st? Only the big games.
I agree with that 100%. By date should be by prestige as well. But all right, let's talk about some of these bowls. Let's start in the Cotton Bowl. Everybody picks Texas Tech except for me. I feel like I need to defend myself a little bit there.
Let's put you on the spot.
Houston Nutt is doing a job in Mississippi at Ole Miss, man. Look, I think that Mike Leach, the coach uncertainty, Graham Harrell saying he's probably kind of for sure not coming back. All these things, rumors with Auburn are going to come back to bite this team, and there's got to be an upset. Man, we're going to move into the BCS Bowls in a second, guys, and we're just not going to be picking many upsets here. There's going to be somewhere, and this is where I decided to draw the line.
I don't pick a coach named Nutt, okay? I'm just going to put it right there.
That's a good point, too.
Yeah, with 2 T's.
But Dabo or
I'll take Dabo. I'll take Dabo. He's from the South.
All right. Well, let's break down the International Bowl a little bit here. UConn has lost 3 of its last 4. Now, Chris, let's go back to this geography theme that we've been developing throughout the show.
You and the geography.
Now, is Buffalo closer to Toronto than UConn is, or is it farther away?
Buffalo is definitely closer than UConn.
So is it going to be a home game for Buffalo?
Buffalo is on the border. I think I saw you guys all pick Buffalo, and that's nice for you guys. But I'm going to take UConn because first of all, props to UConn. A decade ago they weren't even a D1 school, and now here it is 2 years in a row they're going to bowl games. So congratulations to UConn. But you know why I'm taking them? Leading rusher in NCAA football, Donald Brown. And plus, I think their defense is so much better than Buffalo. Turner Gill's got a great offense in place there. But keep in mind, I think going up against UConn's defense, who's from the Big East, they're just going to wipe that MAC offense right down. They're not going to be able to score as many points.
From the Big East, that's not saying a ton.
Well,
but it's saying
compared to the
something
MAC,
more than the MAC.
Compared to the MAC,
I don't know about that. I throw that jab in at the
and it is, and maybe it's not even as big as I'm making it sound. It is probably a closer gap, which I think Mr. Benihina was about to say. But I'm just going to take UConn, just to make you guys mad.
All right,
it's understandable, but clearly I think Buffalo deserves our respect right now, considering, they took down Ball State, 42-24, MAC championship. The MAC conference is on its way up right now. They're scheduling more and more Big Ten teams.
And they're beating them.
The same
and of course, again, that momentum argument.
The momentum argument.
6 out of 7.
There's no momentum. What are you talking about momentum?
After losing 3
They're
straight.
sitting down. They're not going to play a game for a month. There's no momentum. You get momentum when you play every week and you start getting that feeling that you're going to win because you just won the past 3 weeks. That's momentum. Okay?
Oh, yeah?
They're not going to have momentum. They're going to see what this is all about is you're getting ready for the next season in this. Do you want to start the next season in your off-season training program on a high note or on a low note?
Hold on.
We did win the Capital One Bowl last year.
Does the momentum continue throughout the offseason when you're not playing a game every week, Chris? Or is it, no, I guess it does.
You're asking too many complicated questions, Alex.
Well, you can go look at an atlas and also, develop your thesis on momentum during this commercial break. We'll be right back.
Yes. Hello? Hi. What does the G-spot even stand for?
Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?
Yeah. Hello? About poking. Do I poke before I message, or do I message before I poke?
Welcome back to Varsity Blue, the hour-long bowl special. Alex Prasad, Chris Deshawn, Andy Baena here with you, and now it is time. You've been waiting for 40 minutes to hear about the bowls you care about, and now we're going to talk about them. That's great television, folks. All right, let's start with the first game by date. The first one you're going to be able to see, the January 1st afternoon game, a place where Michigan always aspires to go. Perhaps in the future we'll see Wolverines back there. That's the Rose Bowl. It's an interesting matchup this year. Pac-10, Big Ten, as it always is. Check it out right there. You got USC's by Alex, myself, and Chris over here, but Andy with the pick of Penn State.
Ooh. I know I'm going to have to justify this one, but I really think that Penn State's going to do the Big Ten proud here. They're going to get their first win, the league's first win over USC in 9 tries, and I think so because of a few reasons. Darryl Clark is ready to beat USC and to win a big game, okay? He has Deion Butler, he's going to throw some more dramatic touchdowns, and they're going to talk about how he's a walk-on. They have Wooster at running back, and I just don't think Mark Sanchez has what it takes to win this game. I don't think he's the kind of quarterback that USC has had in the past couple of years. They're going to expect his business as usual, but Penn State is going to bring something else to the table.
His name.
Well, now, why isn't Sanchez the quarterback they've had in the past? I mean, Matt Leinart, lost at Oregon State as well.
I mean, I guess he did, but I still do not think that Mark Sanchez is the same type of caliber player as Matt Leinart or Carson Palmer or many of these guys that have had in the past,
because
and they have been the difference.
Sanchez has been playing on one leg the whole year. Did you know that? He did pop a kneecap in the beginning of the season, and he still continued to play. So you got to give the guy credit for that.
Toughness doesn't mean that he's a great
Toughness means everything in football.
Okay.
I'll take a tough QB who doesn't.
Deshaun Rage, watch out, guys.
Deshaun played with a torn ACL for 30 plays in his senior year of high school football.
I didn't say that. No, this isn't about me. This isn't about me. I'm going to say that, and I'm going to disagree with you. First of all, the guy's name is Royster, Evan Royster. If he's a 1,000-yard back, you should be able to say his name, Andy. Okay, I'm just going to put that out
I
there.
misspoke.
Anyway,
all right. Well,
USC has won 8 straight games.
48 minutes, we start going at it.
USC has won the 8 straight games against the Big Ten by an average of 25 points. Michigan fans know that very well. There's no way Penn State wins this game. Well, hold on. There's way, because they do have an offense. They do play great offense. They do play great defense. But USC, that defense is amazing. I mean, playmakers at every single level, draft picks everywhere. USC, plus they're so angry every year that they have to play in the Rose Bowl because the Pac-10 is so weak. So, USC, business as usual.
All right, I have to agree with that. I have visions of Morgan Trent being burned dancing in my head, so that's the way the Rose Bowl has gone of late anyhow. All right, let's move on now to the Orange Bowl. It should not be a BCS Bowl. They could just change it for this year. Cincinnati and Virginia Tech.
What's wrong with that? You don't think these are qualified teams for a BCS game, Alex?
Perhaps Cincinnati, but definitely not Virginia Tech. And Virginia Tech does not have a tough road to get to where they had to go, and played very mediocre along that road. That's why, we both went with Cincinnati, of course, but Andy went with Tech. Marcus,
it's a common theme here.
He's just trying to stand out.
Cincinnati has had some great wins. They beat South Florida, Rutgers, West Virginia, Pitt. So they have showed that they have some skills. However, I think that Virginia Tech quarterback Tyrod Taylor, he's a dual threat, and I think he's going to come out and surprise the Bearcats.
Sean Glennon and Tyrod Taylor, man, they've been hyped, to the moon and back, and they have not delivered for the Hokies, in my opinion, anyhow.
Yeah,
it's going to happen sometime.
Taylor is a playmaker.
I'm trying to get ahead of you guys. I'm trying to make that money.
Yeah, I think Taylor is a playmaker, and he's almost the reason why I actually picked Tech in this game. But then you remember back Orange Bowl last year, Virginia Tech was there, and they lost to Todd Reesing and Kansas. So I'm going to take Cincinnati, and for one reason only, and because they got a receiver by the name of Marshawn Gilliard. Actually, a good buddy of mine. Played against him down in Flagler County, Florida. He's a heck of an athlete. He's got over 1,100 yards. Over 1,100 yards receiving. No, I got the guy's back. If he ever sees this, he's going to be on me. So Marsh.